There's a few of them out there. They've been doing a lot of road patching, the guys have, and it's a little bit long of an update. They've been given a lot of road patching. Heilman Road, Bonnet Road, MacArthur Road, we've been working with Monroe Township. They can't afford to replace those roads, but they did give us enough money where we went out between us. There's been 26 tons of asphalt put on those 3 roads, just patching them up and trying to get them by, which makes a big difference. So that's it for roads. I have a personal, at the fairgrounds, we've been using it for Straits Regional Ride. The county has for a number of years now, which is fantastic that we're using a facility that needs to be used. But the blacktop at the fairgrounds on the Midway was not constructed to be plowed in the winter. It was not constructed to handle truck traffic. It was constructed for pedestrian traffic and very light vehicle traffic in summer months only. There's no gravel underneath it. It's laid on clay. It's 1.5 inches thick. There's nothing there. That being said, the Straits Regional Ride buses are tearing that blacktop up. Plowing it in the wintertime is tearing that blacktop up. I was in there yesterday. There's places of that blacktop where it's next to impossible if somebody tried to push a wheelchair through it. It's peeling up. It's crumbling up in chunks. I'm wondering if, and it's hard right now because we got a couple weeks left, but if the county commissioners might be able to get somebody like, I'm using them as an example, I don't even know the asphalt guys around here, but Extreme Asphalt being a smaller contractor that could come in and cut that out and patch in those pieces that need to be patched in, so it's easier for ADA, handicap accessibility during the fair. And then if you guys could look at in the future in your plan going forward in the next year or 2 years, of doing something as far as re-blacktopping that center Midway at the fairgrounds. It just wasn't made for what it's being used for. It wasn't constructed for the traffic or the winter season. It was constructed strictly for summertime and strictly for pedestrian traffic. So that was all I had there. Thank you.
Thanks, Brad. Positive report. I think Cheboygan County Roads is doing a great job for us. Any other citizens' comments? Please.
I want to dovetail on to what John just said about the regional ride and the fair. We did have a facility study, I keep on bringing it up, and it's been shown that we do need a facility. It's a $5 to $7 million facility. So if we could get that $5 to $7 million facility built in a location at a county facility or whatever, we paid money to get that survey done. And now it's showing that we're tearing up our fairgrounds. So as a citizen who supports public transit in this community, I do call upon our board to act, basically either crap or get off the pot, pardon my French, you know. So we need to get that facility built. Otherwise, they're going to continue tearing up our other infrastructure in our other facilities that are needed to be 100%. I appreciate you bringing it up. Thank you. On another avenue, speaking of the fair, I have been brought to my attention that making calls as a citizen for transparency, that we need to look at our fair as far as expenses and their operations. Just beginning at least 5 calls alone on that myself. So you may want to take a good, long, hard look at our fair and our operations over there. And another thing is Cheboygan County needs to undergo a approval for give it MDOT for a corridor ID study for premium passenger rail. Cheboygan County can start this process. We need passenger rail from Flint to Macomb City. This is central service because there are any trails bus service that comes into Cheboygan and does not provide the service that we need. They get down to Flint at 2:30 in the afternoon. The train out of Flint is at 7:35 in the morning. So tell me how we are allowing Cheboygan County, the city of Cheboygan, to be served by a carrier that's coming to Cheboygan County and not have it be properly connected to the National Transportation Network. So I can call upon Cheboygan County Board of Commissioners to get a corridor ID study started with the Michigan Department of Transportation and the United States Department of Transportation. Thank you.
Thanks, Lou. Anyone else? Board member comment, anybody?
I just wanted to comment on it to Brad's point. One of the things though, that just for fairness there, that was them rock trucks that pulled in there in the middle of the.
Well, that didn't help.
That's when they damaged, they caused some significant damage for the flood, for the dam breach, when they brought those semis in, that they were turned around that one day in there and caused all that. So that could be some money in the future as it related to our flood damage, we might be able to.
Good observation.
This in the back of the mind, and they're accurate on what they're saying there with that. And there's been discussions in the past and before some people were talking about memorializing that midway with a different kind of material, maybe concrete, neighbor, it would be midway. So there's other options. There's been some discussions with some other people with that.
Any board comment?
I just want to comment also on the fairgrounds there. I know that Darien is working on some different product there that he had discussed, because I brought that to his attention from the Fair Board Committee itself. So I'm not sure just what exactly, maybe Jeff, what he's providing with that.
Yeah, there's been several projects at the fairgrounds. One primary is upgrading electrical systems and many of the barns there up to modern standards. So I'd say most of the barns that would be on the east side of the Midway are now up to snuff, and we can work on that. The fair board with other volunteers have been working in the horse barn to remove the doors, repair the doors, take out material that kind of built up over the years and put some fresh stone down. And then we've had donations through nonprofit organizations to upgrade the lighting. So kind of the game plan moving forward is we have different levels of projects. The pavement would be one on the radar, that's one of the larger. We've had some general conversations about basically redesigning the midway itself, as Commissioner Sangster stated, that add some landscape elements. You don't need the width of the pavement that was done originally, and there's also a lot of expense to that, so we have to look at redesigning that. And we can definitely keep the buses off in the meantime there, and then each of the facilities, whether it's a barn or maybe a nonprofit we're working with to do upgrades there. We've replaced all the livestock pens and private cages and things like that over the last few years. So on average, we're probably investing roughly $800,000 a year or so into the fairgrounds, and we have been for several years now. So the pavement project, and we'll also discuss replacing the primary fence in front of the fairgrounds. As far as bidding time this year, we're running out of time for that, so I think we'll rebid it early winter and get that on the schedule for next year.
Takes more to maintain a place than build it.
Mr. Chairman, if I could, I'd like to circle back to Mr. Hornsby and particularly regarding the box culvert job. Brad, that's $325,000 of money poured down a drain hole.
Literally.
Literally. And I'm unfortunate that Eagle's putting that kind of request on your road commission. I'm sure you'd much rather have that $325,000 applied to bridges at this point, sir. And I would just remind you that Cam Cabot, our state legislator, is his committee assignment is Eagle.
We've had the conversation already, so.
I certainly would hope that he had the ability to stand up to Eagle and present your case there. It's not fair to the citizens of Cheboygan County. And frankly, I apologize, Mr. Chairman, but Eagle's been a little bit off the rails here in Cheboygan County of late. And I think you would concur there, sir. Thank you. That needs to be brought to a halt. And I don't know how we go about doing that, but we need some relief here from the bureaucracy in Cheboygan County. Thank you again, Brad, for your report today. It's good to hear those things, and this board appreciates getting a report from your group. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Steve. Jeff, you have
How did our FEMA money come through the chipping? Is that?
We have a submit for reimbursement yet. Yeah, we will shortly, so.
Still looking hopeful?
Yeah, do I see it, across Sue's desk, and then Buffy's deposited, hopeful, but conservative, so.
anything else from the board? We're going to adjourn now, and later, after about 10 or 15 minutes, or half an hour, we'll go into a joint work session with the planning commission. A lot of members are here already. So after the work session, the planning commission, we will not be taking any action on it. So, anybody that doesn't want to be around, feel free to take off. Thank you for coming.